Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to lecture number 9. So last time, what did we talk about? Mesh analysis. Tamam? What did we say about mesh analysis?
We create fake currents.
We create fake currents and we call one IA. We agreed to call them letters because they're fake. IA, we create IB. And what's the common denominator is both they have to be clockwise. So everything in this course we make it clockwise. Sometimes in the lectures I say counterclockwise, it's mistake. In the last lecture I said that. In the last lecture I also said a mistake. I was talking about mesh analysis, but I was saying node analysis. Maybe you guys noticed that. So sometimes I say wrong words, but you get the concept. So those are fake currents, and we said usually stuff in the middle, they carry a current of IA minus IB. And we said this is a baked in KCL. This is a baked in KCL. Now, in the homework, which will be released soon, you should be able to solve it except the last problem, or maybe the last one or two problems where you need next week's lecture. So once we release it, probably tonight or tomorrow, you should start solving it. And you will see some of the checkpoints there. So what did we say last time? The current that goes through R3 is IA minus IB. And we developed the standard form of the equations. And now we solve this problem. Now, so that I don't confuse myself, I took a photo from the book. The solutions of exercise are already in the book, right? So we talk about this problem, and when we say, for example, when we say this is the circuit in terms of mesh currents, find the current in R2 reference upward. This is R2. And what did we say reference upward? We use the negative sign is the reference. It means it's at the top. So what's the current that goes through R2? It's I4 minus I1. Let me show it to you. We have R4 here, right? So the reference plus, because it says the reference upward, you start with the fake current that enters from the positive, which is I4. So IR4 equals I4, which we can call it ID if we don't want to lose track because the book is not perfect, minus IA or I1. You can call this ID, I1. So ID minus IA. Get it? Problem 2, R4 reference to the right. It means it's I2 minus I1, right? Let me check. It's I2 minus I1. How about problem C, R8 reference downward? It's going to be I3 minus I4 or IC minus ID. And part D is the negative of it. Any question about this quick exercise? This can be a good question for the maybe major exam. So we say, for example, I1 minus I2 and then A, B, I2 and then confuse you. Yes, please.
They don't tell us reference downward or upward. The default is what?
The default is what I told you. What did I tell you?
Negative down and...
Yeah, stick with the logic. Don't confuse yourself. It's like, why you confuse yourself, okay? So let's try to solve this in numerical example. Use mesh currents to solve for the current flowing through the 10 ohm resistance in figure 2.36. Check your answer, I'm not going to do that. Check a second time using node voltages, I'm not going to do that because we're not going to have a question where it asks you in the test. Waste of time. let's try to formulate the system. So I'm not gonna write it in terms of IA, IB, IC, okay? So what we have, so what we're gonna have, I'm gonna do it from, again, you don't have to memorize everything. You can do everything from scratch. Latecomers, it's too late, wait. Initials. اسمك الأول. منصات. This is 10 ohm, this is 5 ohm, this is 7 ohm, this is 3 ohms, and we call this I A, and we call this I B. Who wants to be the KVL? This is 100 volts. Who wants to be the KVL? Turkey. Well, let's start from here, huh? Now, in the test, what's the first step? Put the signs. Did he give us the signs?
No.
No. What did I tell you?
Plus.
Plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. Yes.
Doctor, if we have the resistance at the bottom line,
Hina?
yes.
You can do plus, minus, or you can do minus, plus. But if you make plus, minus, KVL will be easier. Again, it doesn't matter. What is the key is when we do Ohm's law, if the current enters from the negative, you multiply by a negative sign. So for example, if you have a resistance here and you put maybe plus minus, you will have IA entering from the negative side. And then once we do a KVL, V equal minus IA times R3, even though it's a voltage rise. If you do right to left, it will be a voltage drop. And you're not gonna include the passive sign configuration. So you can, at the bottom, you can do both. I personally prefer like plus minus to the left, plus minus at the bottom. But it's up to you. Okay, Turkey, you're here, right?
Yes.
So what is the current that goes through the 10 ohm resistor? It's a voltage rise or voltage drop?
Drop.
Drop minus 10 times. What's the current that goes? What is this current? IA?
IA minus IB.
IB. So IA minus IB. We go here. Is there a voltage drop across the short circuit?
No.
There will be a question maybe in the test. What's the voltage drop across the short circuit? Is 0. And is this a voltage rise or voltage drop?
Rise.
Plus. Voltage rise or voltage drop?
Drop.
Why? Because the current enters from here. That's IA. So it's going to be minus 5 times IA. We're going to use capital A equal to 0. That's equation number 1. How many equations we need? 2. Because we have 2 variables. Who wants to be the KVL? Hatem, you're here. Please. Voltage rise or voltage drop? So you put plus 10. What's the current?
IB minus IA.
No. The current we already said it's IA minus IB. IA minus IB. We need to fix it. Passive sign configuration. No, we don't need to fix it. Do we need to fix it? No, we already said the current enters from the positive. Again, we do not need to fix it. So that's a voltage rise for a current that enters from the top. If you say IB minus IA, you have to include another negative sign for the passive sign configuration. أعيد شرح. Because we already said the current that goes here is IA minus IB, it's a voltage rise, so plus 10 IA minus IB. If we want to include the current that goes from the bottom to the top, which is IB minus IA, we would say it is voltage rise plus 10 times, you said IB minus IA, and then I have to put the warning sign. Oh, it enters from the negative. Then you have to put another negative sign. And this will fix this to match the same thing. Again, ultimately you should have both expressions. Bottom line is, what we learn is, once you put IA minus IB, do not change it in the second circuit. لا تغير الكرنت واحدة تحط IA minus IB والثانية IB minus IA. واضح؟ واضح يا شباب؟ امتحان بعد 9 أيام. تمام؟
15 يوم.
Don't count the weekend, okay? So voltage rise plus 10 times IA minus IB. Here, what's the current that goes through the 7 ohm resistor?
IA minus IB.
No, the 7 ohm resistor. It's just IB. عيد شرحها. عندك T junction صح؟ احنا قلنا هنا IA واحنا قلنا هنا ايش؟ هنا التقاطع حقهم اللي هو IA minus IB. لكن هنا اللي فوق ذولي او اللي تحت لو كان في تحت IB IA IB. Get it؟ واضح؟ لما تطرح التيارات لما يصير مشتركا مش واضح يا شباب؟ That's why I want you guys to be KVLs, so that you learn. So what is the voltage rise or the voltage drop? Drop minus 7. What's the current? IB. Do we need to add passive sign configuration?
No.
Why? Because it enters from the positive. بعدين 3, same story. Minus 3 IB. Voltage rise or voltage drop? You equate it to 0 because that's a KVL. So this is KVL at mesh 1, KVL at mesh 2. هذه mesh 1 وهذه mesh 2 equals 0. 2 equations, 2 unknown. Again, the book is stupid. Why? Because he started moving stuff. Now we do the standard form. How do we do the standard form? We put IA, IB. Okay, if you look at the old exam, some questions will give you different standard forms. And you have to pick the right one. So maybe in the exam, if you see the final answers, what's the standard form? Do not solve it. You will waste 2-3 minutes in the test. Read the question. اقرأ السؤال always. What's the size of this matrix?
2 by 2.
2 by 2. What's the size of this matrix? 2 by 1. صفوف ضرب الأعمدة. Math 002. Okay, what's the coefficient of IA? Minus 5 minus 10. Hey, that's okay. I'm going to show it to you later. Minus 5, which is minus 15. Forget about this. Trust yourself. What's the coefficient of B? Plus 10. Equals. What does it equal? Minus 100. The equation in the book, you multiply everything by minus 1. You can multiply both sides with negative 1 and you will still have the same solution. Okay, I don't know why the book had, because I think the book does voltage rise, voltage drop differently. Trust the process, okay? YouTube. Okay? If you get confused, YouTube. So this one, minus 100, 10 minus 15 is equivalent to 15 minus 10, 100. Any question about why they have a different negative sign? Okay. Who didn't bring the calculator? Raise your hand if you do not have a calculator. You do not have a calculator? Take this from me. Standard form for the second equation?
10 minus 20
It's 10 and minus
Minus 10, minus 7, minus
Wait, don't confuse me. Slowly. 10. What's for the IB? Minus 10, minus 7, minus 3, minus 20. And what's the right term?
0.
0. We got nothing. Again, can you multiply this by minus 1, this minus 1? You will get 20 and minus 10. Doesn't matter. It's like saying minus x equals to 1 or x equals minus 1. It's the same thing. Get it? This negative because we use voltage rise, voltage drop method, which is the one I want you guys to use. What is IA?
10.
It's the unit. Is IB.
5.
So what's the current that goes through the 10 ohm resistor?
5.
So I 10 ohm. Reference downward. Reference downward.
Yes.
So what's the current? 10 minus 5. 5 amps. Get it?
Yes.
Any question about exercise 2.19? Yes.
Can I use ohm laws instead of KVA?
The question says use mesh currents method, standard process. What if I give you the question in the test? Using mesh current, what is the standard form? You have to use it. Okay?
But I can get IA and IB exactly from ohm's law. I can get AB and A.
I know you can do KVL, KCL, but here we're learning mesh analysis.
That's all you mean by the standard form, these two equations?
This is the standard form.
Matrix.
Matrix form, standard. This is not yet standard. This is KVL. Because if I give you this slide, you'll confuse yourself. Oh, how did he find 100? I don't want to play games. I want to go through the process. We are professionals here, ya shabab, okay? Get it?
Yes.
Adnan, get it? If he asks you to do it, you have to use a method. And again, I personally prefer to use a standard approach than other methods. Now the questions ask about trust me guys, if you study the slides and YouTube videos and homework and all the exam, I'm not gonna say you will get A+, but minimum you will get B+, minimum. You know that some students do not study and they still get A+, right? It is what it is. So you have to see, oh, am I strong in this course? Am I strong in that course? And allocate your time. Wow, this is probably like a homework example. So we have here IA, IB, IC, get it? So I'm not going to draw the circuit, I'm going to start doing the mesh quickly. So who wants to be the KVL? You're here, okay? Can you tell me?
Eyes.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Okay. You're here, right? So this is IA, IB, IC. And what did I tell you? Oh, we have to draw it because it doesn't have reference. So if he give you a plain circuit without anything, what's the first step?
The signs.
Put the signs, huh?
Yes.
I'm gonna put them in red. Okay.
Positive, negative. Positive, negative.
Doesn't matter. You agree?
Yes.
So here we have IA, IB, IC, okay? So you're the KVL guy. I'm not gonna draw the units for the sake of time. But in the final answers, you always should write the unit, okay? So you're the KVL, mesh 1. Mesh 1, mesh 2, mesh 3. Or mesh A, mesh B, mesh C. Start.
Mesh 1 is 70.
plus,
Plus 70.
don't say 70, plus,
Negative.
why?
Because it's a dot
Voltage drop, negative. What's the resistance? 20.
20 multiplied.
What's the
by-
current?
Current is I1 minus I2.
No, we said IA.
IA minus IC.
IA minus IC. And here,
Voltage drop.
minus 10. What's the current?
Current is
IA minus
IB.
Equals?
0.
Okay, I'm gonna pick. Khaldi, Hamad, you're the KVL at mesh 2. Where do you want to start?
I will start with
Here?
yes,
Okay, let's start.
plus 42,
Why you say plus 4?
minus 42.
You want to use the book method?
Yes.
Okay, then
With the first.
you should have registered with another professor.
Voltage drop minus 42.
Minus 40 voltage drop.
Yes.
And then here, voltage rise or voltage drop?
Voltage rise.
Plus, what's the resistance?
10.
What's the current that goes here? Reference downward.
IB minus IA.
No.
IA minus AB.
IA minus IB. Reference downward. Here, voltage rise or voltage drop?
Voltage drop
Make it.
minus 12.
What's the current that goes through the resistor reference right board?
Divided by I2 minus IB minus IC.
IB minus IC. Equals? Yes.
الطريقتين كلها صح اذا خليت اول اشاره او اذا خليت
Yes. So if you want to use Dr. Atiya's method, this would be plus 42 minus 10. But what's the current? Still IA minus IB. So in both methods you made this mistake. What's the current? It's going to be plus. So both methods are the same, but both methods, it's up to you. But I cannot solve using Dr. Ati's method in this class.
Stick with just one.
Stick with one method. If you don't like my method, stick with Dr. Ati. But both methods, they have passive sign configuration. And they have passive sign configuration is different. Passive sign configuration, if you define the current entering from the negative, then you add a negative in both methods. So again, if we want to solve it in my method, this is voltage rise or voltage drop. Minus 42. Voltage rise plus 10. Where the current enters, it enters from here. Where the current enters from here. Where this current enters from here. Get it?
Yes.
Okay. Who wants to be the KVL on the top? No, not you. Not you. It's not your class. Number 2, what's your name?
Me? Hamad Salman.
Salman. Where do you want to start?
Edge.
Hmm?
Left edge.
Let's do it here. This mesh, where do you want to start? Here?
Yes.
Okay. Voltage rise, voltage drop.
Voltage drop.
Okay, keep in mind the current goes here, IC. So IC enters from the top. So, voltage drop, minus
14 A.
14 times,
C.
not C, IC. Here, voltage rise, voltage drop,
Voltage rise.
plus.
12.
What's the current that goes here?
B minus IC.
Do not say IC minus IB, guys. So you're right. IB minus IC. Here, voltage rise, voltage drop,
5.
plus 20 times. What's the current that goes through this resistor?
IA minus IC.
IA minus IB
IC.
minus IC equals 0. Standard form. Who wants to do the standard form? Al-Hayya, you have to do the standard form. How many variables? Names. IA, IB, IC. Let's start. Here, what do we have? Minus 20, minus 10, minus 30. For IB, what do we have? Plus 10. For IC, minus 20 times minus 1 is plus 20. What did I tell you? If you get confused, put a line, صح? Plus 20. Equals. Equals to come? No?
Minus 70.
This is 70. Minus 7. Who wants to do line number 2? You.
The first one is 10,
The second one.
minus 22,
The third one.
then 12,
12. Equals?
42.
You take minus 42 to the right. 42. The third one. What is I? Who wants to do the third one? ونصار. Do it. Quickly.
11
11.
I see.
It's tricky, a bit tricky. Let's start with IA. You have only 20, right? Come and see. Come and see. It's okay. What is IA? Come. If you don't see, come.
20.
20. What is IB?
12,
How did you know it's 12?
12,
12 IB. Okay, 12. How about IC? IC is a bit tricky.
سالب 14 زائد 12 زائد 20.
Wait, minus 14 minus 12 is minus 26. Minus 26
minus 6.
minus 20
Minus 46.
minus 46. Is there a DC or constant? No. Yeah, please answer. Is it right, minus 46?
Yes.
So what is IA?
4.
4 amps? What is IB?
1.
1 amp.
What is IC?
2.
Did he solve it? Again, everything is multiplied by minus 1. Because Al-Khadi wants to use Dr. Atiyah's method. If you use Dr. Atiyah's method, you should get these numbers. If you use my method, voltage rise, voltage drop, you should use this method. Both methods agree in the passive sign configuration. Both methods agree with the directions of the current. You put them at the beginning and do not change them. Once you assign it's IA minus IB, it will stay until you finish the problem. Get it? You can use Dr. Atiyah method. The only difference is just the KVLs will be negative of my KVLs.
The final answer will be the same.
Of course, if it's not the same, then something is wrong usually with the passive sign configuration. Usually. And did you guys get the same answer?
No.
Yes.
I didn't.
Well, are you sure? Verify. You got the same answer? You got the same answer? نبي واحد ثالث؟ خلاص. You got the same answer? Yeah, let's ask. It's time to ask questions. We are good in the material, but it's time to ask questions.
ليش ما تقول اي سي ماينس 14 على طول؟ ليش تبعت؟
Why do you say minus 49? You want to add all of them together? يعني تبغى تسويهم serious? They are not in serious. They are not in serious. None of them is serious. صادفت. هل هم serious? Why? Because they do not have a share common. Right? Okay, they share one node بس الفولتج سورس يخرب عليهم. They share one node but هذا الريزستور يخرب عليهم. They share one node but this voltage source يخرب عليهم. ما في واحد منهم serious. Do not jump ahead. امشي على البروسيس في النود فولتج والمش you have to go through the process. لازم ترسم الرجال وتخليه يدور. إذا ما رسمت راح تلخبط.
Small question. Based on what we subtract the currents?
In you already assigned the direction for a current, صح? Which is that goes through the 12 ohm resistor. In the 12 ohm, we have IB going this direction along with the direction of the arrow, but we have IC opposite of the direction of the arrow. It's a fake current. Because we put plus and minus, so that we do not get confused على passive sign configuration, we say always put the current here to be IB minus IC. And keep it until you finish the problem. Here, you put plus minus. After that, you put the current entering from the plus. And then you see IA معاها و IC عكسها. دائما في المش واحدة بتصير عكس الثاني لو سويتهم كلهم clockwise. واضح؟ Is it clear? This is another problem. Can I say IA equal to 2 amp? Yeah, we can say. So current source will make our life easier with the mesh analysis. So this would reduce to only one equation. Yes?
هذه مو تبع أومز لو.
It is Ohm's law, but can use Ohm's law.
أومز لو هي الفولت قسمة المقاومة.
Don't rush things. This is 2 amps will be splitted here. Okay?
كلام صوص.
So IA equals to 2 amp. We only have one mesh. Let's do the equations of IB. So this is 2 amp. This is a resistor, that's a resistor, that's a resistor, that's a voltage source. Again, did he put signs? No. Who wants to do the signs for me? 15, 5, 10. 15, 5, 10. Who wants to put the sign? Adnan.
Plus minus.
Plus minus. Plus minus.
Plus minus.
Plus minus. Okay, step number, then you go to the directions. This is, we call it IA, صح? This is, we call it IB. So IB enters from here, صح? How about the 10 ohm resistor? What's the current?
A minus.
IB. So in the first mesh, we already say IA equals to 2 amps. Because we know that this reduces our mesh analysis to only one current. This can be a question in the exam. So who wants to do the KVL here? You. What's your name? Hamad Eish. Hamad Sadiq wants to be the KVL. I want you to start from here. Voltage rise, voltage drop.
5.
Top.
10 times.
نشوف إذا ما نشوف تعال. Plus
10 times A minus B.
not A minus B. IA minus IB. You have to be accurate. IA minus IB. Do we need to put passive sign configuration? Why?
We already assigned the current.
Because the current does not enter from the negative direction, which is equivalent if we already assigned the current. Here, voltage rise, voltage drop.
Drop. 5 IB.
Not 5. Minus 5. What's the current that goes here?
IB.
Voltage rise, voltage drop.
Drop. 10 volts.
Drop means
Negative.
10
Negative.
minus equals to 0, right? We can substitute the 2 amps here. So this will be what? 10 times 2 minus IB minus 5 IB minus 10 equal to 0. One equation. Can you solve it? It's 20 minus 10 IB minus 5 IB minus 10 equals 0. 20 minus 10 is 10. Put it to the right, it's minus 10. Minus 10 minus is minus 15 IB. So IB is 1 over 1.5, which is what?
0.66.
Get it? So if he gives you a current source, you can say, so this is a mesh current in circuits containing current source. Sadiq, I want you to repeat the KVL with the proper naming. You're here. What do we have? Okay.
Positive 10
Times
A minus B.
IA minus IB. Here, voltage rise, voltage drop.
Drop 5 IB.
Not drop 5, it's minus 5.
Okay.
Times
Minus 10.
minus 10. Get it? Khalid, you want to do it with Dr. Atiyah's method?
That's okay.
Or you prefer my method now?
Now I prefer to do it after your explanation. So stick in my mind.
Why I gave you my method? So that you separate passive sign configuration from Dr. Atiyah's method, which is also correct, that you see the negative sign, put negative. But what if I have a negative sign and I have a current entering through the negative? Then you will have double negative. Oh, في negative sign, not negative. Oh, بس بيدخل. You will confuse yourself at this only case, which can happen. So that's why we separate voltage rise, voltage drop away from the passive sign configuration. We reserve, if you see a negative sign, entering current, entering the negative, immediately think passive sign configuration. Rahman, you're gonna do this, you're gonna solve the next example. How about this? I want you to do the KVL here. What's the difference between this circuit and that circuit? Upward, reverse, pluses and minuses, right? Guys, do not rely on studying the slide alone. When you study the slide, watch the YouTube video. Okay? If you study the slide, this has no information. This has no information, useless. You have to study the YouTube. That's why I'm recording, get it? Or study the book. It's up to you. Put it at 2x, okay? Put the resolution, the highest. I'm going to solve this example real quick. It is what it is. Okay? Always put the directions, okay? If you see a circuit like that in the test, will you get scared? Not anymore. 10, 5, 100, 10, 5. Who wants to put the polarity? Adnan, our polarity guy.
10 ohm minus plus.
No, you say like plus minus, from left to right. How about this?
بس احنا على مش.
Yeah, I know, but what did I tell you? It has nothing to do with it. When you put the signs based on the geometry, top to bottom.
Plus minus.
This looks more attractive. Okay? Now the currents. We have here IA. We have here IB, right? What is the current that enters here? Notice that I tend to put the current entering the positive. هي trick. ليش؟ عشان ما أطيح في الباسيف ساين configuration. أنا ما أحبها. طيب هنا وين أحط الكرنت يمشي؟
تمام.
عشان ما أطيح في الباسيف ساين configuration. هل كل شيء معلم؟ Use mesh analysis. Who wants to be the KVL? You. What's your name? Hatem Asiri is our KVL guy. We already know IA equals
Negative 5.
Minus 5.
Y.
Because it's down.
Opposite of the current source. Where do you want to start?
Top right.
Top right. Hatem is here. What do you see here?
Top.
Okay, top.
So minus 5. IM2. ID.
IB. And then you are here.
So
Then what do you have?
right 100
Plus.
plus 100.
And then you are here.
Then minus 10.
Y minus.
The drop.
What's the current that goes through the 10 ohm resistor reference to the right?
IA minus ID.
No. Why you say IA minus IB? This current is in the direction of IB.
Right.
Trick. This current is in the direction opposite of IA. So this is the current.
So IB minus IB.
IB minus IA. Okay, who's our math guy? Who wants to solve this one equation, one variable? Minus 5 IB. I'm going to solve it here. So IA is 5, right? Minus 5. So this can be plus 5, right? Right?
Yes.
So minus 50 plus 100 is 50. To the right is minus 50. This and this. Minus 50 plus 100 is plus 50. To the right, minus 50. IB. Minus 10 minus is minus 15. IB. So IB is what? 50 over 5 amps. Whatever, 50 over 15. 50 على 15. Get it? Checkpoint. And we are done with the mesh. You see, the slide doesn't have the solution. You have to go back to the exercise. Checkpoint. What's interesting about this checkpoint is we reverse the battery. Are you getting scared if we reverse the battery now? No, it's just voltage rise rather than voltage drop. Okay, what's the first step? The first step is we put the directions, right? Okay, who's our polarity guy? Adnan? Hatem.
Plus minus.
See, left, plus.
Plus minus.
Here.
Plus minus. Plus minus.
Okay, how about the current? Where do you want the current to enter usually from?
From the top percent.
Why؟ عشان ما نطيح في الباسيف sign configuration. خلاص, the signing is good, right? You're not gonna be the KVL because it's not your class. Rahman, you're gonna be the KVL guy now.
Plus 20 volt.
Where am Rahman?
Plus 20 volt.
Okay, you wanna start from here?
Yes.
Okay, voltage rise, voltage drop.
Voltage rise.
Plus 20, here.
Voltage drop minus 5. I1. Sorry,
It's minus 5 because it's a voltage drop times.
I.
How about this current? Voltage rise, voltage drop.
Voltage drop.
Drop, يعني minus. 15 times. What's the current that goes through the
IA
15?
minus IB.
Equals? So this is KVL at mesh A or mesh 1. Who wants to be the second KVL guy? Khaldi.
From the current source.
Wait, no, there is no current source. Where is the current? Okay. Top or bottom?
Top.
Okay, voltage rise, voltage drop.
Voltage rise, so
Plus 10.
Plus 10. Okay. Voltage rise also.
Plus 15.
Plus 15.
What's the current?
IB.
No?
But IA minus IB.
So you can draw a full circle and you can make it full of arrows.
IA plus IB.
So you see the arrow IB is going from, so it's IA minus IB. So this arrow is IA minus IB.
Voltage drop, so minus 10 multiplied by IB equals 0.
So this is KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law, at mesh B. So this is mesh B, this is mesh A. Who wants to write it in the standard form before we finish the lecture? Can you please do it? You don't want? Okay, who wants to do it?
minus.
How many variables?
Two values. IA, ID.
Okay. What's the size? 2 by 2, صح?
2 by 2.
Okay, start.
Minus 20, IA.
About IB?
15,
What's the constant?
minus 20.
So the plus 20 goes here to minus 20. How about IB? The second equation. Who wants? You can do the second equation. We don't have time. Yeah.
15 IA.
15. What's IB?
Minus 25.
Minus 25, minus 10.
Minus
What's the constant? Minus 10. Solvers. Please solve the system.
2.36.
2.36. 1.81. 1.81.
You can leave. Any question about the checkpoint? Let me also verify that. That's correct. Actually, the question asked about the power delivered at the 15 ohm resistor. So what is I15? It's IA minus IB.
Yes.
What's the answer? So power at 15 ohm equals plus
0.55. The answer.
this number squared times 15 I square R. The final answer is 4.471 watt absorbed. This is P equal I square R plus, because of the passive sign configuration enters from the positive. That's the question actually. So now we solve this problem.
Doctor, I think it does not matter because we have I square.
Yeah, you're right, doesn't matter. That's why resistors are always absorbing.
Yes.
But the formula is P equal VI. But V is IR. And there's another I. And this is a plus.
The sign configuration will be negative I times negative I.
Yeah, if it's
So it does not.
for the power, for the resistor. But this is an advanced level. For now, we're going to keep it. Okay? I don't think the exam will have this trick. We have a power separate question. We'll try to avoid it. No, nothing is guaranteed, but that's a checkpoint. Plus minus P equal VI. V is I times R. I is already calculated, IA minus IB. You can multiply both of them, you get the formula I square R. Get it? Any question about mesh? We are on track for the syllabus and I'm going to stop the recording. تأخرين